up guys, this is Vico, your very own GoHilevel Ninja. In this video, we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna show you our actually call analysis. This is where me actually watching my own call recording, pause it, and actually give you explanation into why I said what I said, and it gives you the behind the curtain into the thought process between each question and each dialogue into what I say to the prospects. This is gonna be helpful to you because instead of just reading script or watch recording like you normally do, it's gonna give you an access to the thought process of the seller. So if you want to watch more video like this, make sure that you actually give this video a like and comment below saying that you want to watch more video like this so I can continue to make it in the future. And if you're gonna stick until the end of this video, we're gonna give you our exact script that we use to enroll high ticket client into our agency, copy and paste that you can actually implement into your sales business or your agency in the next day. Hey everyone, welcome to this training. Very excited to actually show you and do a voiceover with my live call with this prospect. And as you know, what you're looking at right now is a text message from Facebook before we actually hopped on the call. So this guy have a very negative view with lead gen in general. He thinks online lead is rubbish. That's a very strong negative belief that I have to overcome. And before I even have to speak to him, I know that there's going to be a lot of word that he's going to be putting up if I'm being uncertain about my product or my services. This is why I actually want to do a video about this call, because this call is going to be a tough and a challenging one. As you see here, conversation, someone said the lead is rubbish. What I said is, what do you mean? I want them to elaborate on them. And then obviously it's not going to be much going on with the text. My goal here is just to actually move away from the text and get him on the phone. So at the end I said, well, it's easier to explain over the phone. What is the best number? And I end up getting his phone number, and I did not get his time, but I just called him out of the blue. So this is what the call is like.
Yes.
Yeah, most people take today off for a long weekend for the Australian day. So yeah, surprised you're still working.
I'm always working, mate. Always working.
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. Brad, we actually connect through Facebook.
So as you could see, that was maybe less than 30 seconds of rapport building. We just said, hey, how are you? I thought, today everyone's taking a day off. That's what I mean by rapport building. It's not about going over to 10 minutes talking about, duck hunting, about your dog, your cat. No one care about that. No one care about rapport building that far. We just want to say, hey, this is Vico. How you been? How's your day like? How's your week like? What's the weather's up there? That's it. Just to build rapport. You don't want to be, stranger over the phone as well.
So one of your posts, I thought, I'd reach out to you. And we have a bit of a chat through Facebook already. Does that still ring a bell?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do here is to refresh his memory, because obviously I understand that most agents out there speak to hundreds of people every day. They network. They talk to many people a day. Like, I'm not special. Just don't pretend that you're special. Just want to actually remind them that, hey, I'm that guy from Facebook and we chat briefly. Is that ring a bell? We just want to confirm that he knows who he's talking to and everything. It's also just give them a feel that, you're quite professional at it as well.
What are you currently doing right now in terms of getting, more seller endorsed for your company?
Sorry for being, cut off the call very quickly at a smaller segment like this, but one other thing I picked up is I should have asked him for permission. Hey Brad, is it okay if we start by asking you a few questions? See that what we have here is going to be a good fit for you. Just make good use of our time. That's what I could have done better. So the point of this call is not just to learn for the positive, but we also pick up some negative as well, and we can learn from what I could have done better as well. I pretty much dive straight to the question. What I could have done is by asking permission, see if he can only let me ask him.
Like just listed, just sold cards.
Okay, go on.
We do social media marketing, so Facebook, Instagram, Google Ad Network.
It sounds like you don't have too much of a good experience in the past, is that right? You say a lot of lead was rubbish.
Yeah, we've had like a lot of lead generation companies, and they want to get sort of paid like per lead and stuff, and then we get a lot of rubbish leads, and then we end up paying lots of money for these leads.
Okay.
Some companies that send us leads, and then they only pay once we settle. So we get companies a lot more because they give us 10 leads, and then those 10 leads, we might get 1 or 2 listings, and then when we sell those 2 properties, they get paid from the settlement. A bit fair and a bit better, because then if we get 10 leads and we don't get any listings out of it, well, it's kind of a waste of time and money. Whereas if if we get the listings and then we get the money, we make the commission, well then, more than happy to pay for those leads, you know what I mean? So...
Okay, so you currently have a company right now that do a commission-only sort of lead, right?
Just so you understand the context here, he trying to lead the conversation for the lead gen company guy to give him free lead. He think he's leading me, but I'm actually leading him. There is a company in Australia right now. It's called Local Agent Finder. What the company do is generate lead and it pass on to 10 or 20 different agents and they all fight for that lead. It's not the best out there, but he gonna make it sound like what I'm pitching him or about to tell him is a commodity, right? And he has something a lot better. That's where he want to lead the conversation at.
And in terms of your social media marketing, you said, social media, Facebook, Google, is that like in-house or contractor?
Contractor.
Is that the same company we just mentioned?
No.
Okay. I mean, like, are you looking to get more work though? It's all come down to that question, if you want to take on more work or, all that stuff, and you have the capacity to actually take on more work.
So that pretty much is a hook that I throw out, right? Are you currently, taking more work? Obviously, most answer I would get is yes. At the end of the day, Brad, are you currently happy with where you're at? And if they throw a yes into that, that's pretty much a confirmation that they need help. That's a hook, say yes to that hook, that's receptive, and then I keep going and spend more time and digging and ask some more questions. Otherwise, I would have never continued.
Yeah, we always need more work.
Yeah.
We're pretty busy, but I'm happy to take on more work.
Okay, tell me, what's the experience so far with all this thing? This contractor that's doing your social media and this company that gives you commission basically. Are you happy with where you're at?
50%.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure if you picked up on that. What do you mean? That is very, very important, right? What you want to do in this discovery call is to be curious as a child can be. So I remember when I hang out with my 6 or 7 years old niece or nephew, they always curious about why is the sky is blue? Why is the tree is green? Why is the dog barking? Right? Just curious. Never assume anything. Never make an assumption. Because when you make an assumption, you lead the conversation to a false end. They said, well, I'm not quite happy, 50%. What do you mean? I want them to go deeper. And when they go deeper, we have an opportunity to connect and trust at a deeper level. That's what we want to establish in this call, to build trust, build rapport, and actually to discover their real pain. Because everyone that's going to be jumping on a call with a stranger on the phone who they never know, never talked to before, they're going to give us a surface level answer. You can't expect someone to give you all the detail on their business on the first conversation. No one can do that, especially they haven't actually met you yet. So what's the number one problem in your business? No one's going to tell you that. They're going to say, blah, blah, blah. Very surface answer. Very, very surface answer. What do you mean?
Well, we advertise properties that we're currently listing for sale, and then we can do like extra marketing to get more leads for listings. Anyway, rather talking about me, what do you sort of do and offer?
Oh, so what he's doing here is he want answer. He want control. So remember what I'm talking about? Whoever asking question have control. Okay. So now he said, I don't want you to keep asking me. I want control. I want to take that back. Now I have a concern, right? So see how I handle that one.
I want to make sure that, where you're at right now, we can actually help, because it sounds like you have a company already that doing commission based and a contractor that do social media marketing. Do you use that contractor to generate you listing as well, or just promoting your current listing?
So what I basically do is I'm looping back and address that concern very, very broad and very, very briefly. And I loop back to the question. And without knowing it, he continues answering my question.
Promote the current listings.
You don't use it to generate new listing?
No.
Okay, just curious, why not?
Because it costs money.
Okay, cool. You said you actually want more work. What have you done so far to actually get more work?
Alright, so if you haven't noticed that, I'm just acting like a child. I'm being very curious here, right? So he wants more work and he actually haven't done anything generate lead by himself because it costs money. So just curious here, what have you actually done so far? You want this, but you haven't done what necessary to get this. Just curious here, what have you actually done?
Yeah, it'd be good if you had some social media campaign that was cheap and effective.
Okay, what do you mean by cheap? You're talking about like a couple of bucks? What is cheap to you?
Well, I guess it comes down to results, it comes down to, if we're getting per lead, maybe like $5, something like that.
I talk to hundreds of agents every week, right? The company that you're currently doing right now, I hear a lot of people doing, local agent finder, they give you lead, you pay them once the lead settle, right? I'm not sure if you're using the same one, but it's the same principle. If it's so good, like every agent in Australia right now would have jumped on board, but it's not good. I don't have to ask you the detail, but I spoke with many other agents. If it worked, it would have worked because they split the lead up to 20 different agents and they all race to the bottom. Okay. Right. So can I give you an example of what we do? What we do is
Alright, so based on the questionnaire, obviously if you are a digital marketer, been doing it for quite some time, this is the quality of a very, very bad prospect. And if you do turn to a client, you have to set a very strong expectation because he feel like he haven't spent any money back to his business and he want commission only and he want cheap lead. The expectation was not there. If he do come on, he's gonna be a very bad client. So what I'm doing, like, this is 6 minutes into the call. What I do in that call, I realize, I need to cut this guy out. So I'm being very upfront with him. I'm saying, look, cut out all the bullshit. I know where you're at. Like, you're using this company that I know, we both know is not working well in the industry. Local agent finder is a very bad thing in the industry, and don't try to use that to run away from the problem that you're having right now. So I'm pretty much put my foot down and be very firm with him, and then I tell him what we do, and if you're not interested, let's cut the call off right here. And if we do, let's move forward.
We pretty much help agents and broker like yourself put in place a machine like what they have under your brand, under your term, right? So we help them implement an extra avenue to generate lead in-house, the combination of social media and all that stuff. And you get around 10 to 20 local buyer or seller real time. Does that make sense? Exclusive to you.
Yep.
Is that something that you want to have a chat further about?
Sure.
So let's just go through a couple of questions around and make sure that I can actually help you. And
So I feel like he's still somewhat receptive. That's why I continue to actually go on with a couple more questions and just make sure that he is someone that willing to be coached or he's someone who are motivated to change just because he's receptive. But based on past 6 minutes, 7 minute call, he sounds like a very bad client if he do come on board. Asking if he is going to be coachable and if he really have motivation behind it.
Think that it's good fit, we move forward from that. If not, I'll let you know, right? You said you actually can take on more, obviously, and you actually want to take on more, but have you actually tried to bring in more work to the business? You do letterbox drops, cold calling, door knocking, and stuff like that?
Yeah, mostly letterbox.
You probably tried 5-10 different methods. What's the one avenue that bring in the most business right now?
Probably referrals.
Has that been slowing down during COVID-19 or how's that keeping up right now?
About so.
Okay. So what's the number like, man? Like consistently 5 every week?
Yep.
How many listings you have with you right now in stock?
30.
Cool. 30. Is it like, what kind of listing are they?
600 to 800,000.
Okay, so it's residential mom and dad house, right?
Residential houses, yep.
And what sort of ideal clients are you after?
Residential houses and want to sell in the next 4 weeks.
You want to sell in the next 4 weeks?
Yep.
Okay. So one other thing I noticed through our conversation is, you see all the lead in the past with rubbish. So can you elaborate on the past experience? Like,
you sort of call them up and then they used to have a chat about selling their home and stuff, and then they sort of say, we're just sort of thinking about it, we're not, they're lowly motivated. So ideally you want to get highly motivated sellers with residential houses in Central Gold Coast wanting to sell in the next 4 weeks.
And the people who thinking in selling, is it like all of them? Like they give you 100 leads, they're all low motivated, or they got a bit of mixed bag, Some of them want to sell 6 months, some of them is 3 months, some of them like now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Yeah.
Well, what's the problem then? If it mixed bags, you probably get someone who actually want to sell early, like 4 weeks or 3 months. That's a conversion for you, right?
Yeah.
I'm just curious, why is the lead still rubbish then?
Alright, he's just blaming the lead when in fact we just discovered on this call, even probably first time for him to discover as well, that it's not really the lead, right? When you generate the lead, you just school people off the market. And this is all about doing research in each market, understand your industry, so you actually have more knowledge than the people that you're speaking to. If I was brand new to this, he would have fooled me. But because I've done this before with so many other agents that I can actually get really deep down to his bullshit. What he do is he's just blaming the lead, and we just realize now that, if some of the lead that he been generating on the past is got a couple of people that ready to sell quite early on. So this is like 3 months or less. Why is the lead still rubbish?
I guess you get a lot of people who are just sort of shopping around and they don't actually end up listing.
Well, it sounds to me that, your problem here, you waste a lot of time with, people who's not ready to sell, correct?
Yeah, just not motivated sellers.
So again, I confirm what he just said to me. Again, people want to feel heard, people want to feel understood. So you just said A, B, and C. Is that what I'm hearing? Always get into a habit of doing that, guys. So just to elaborate and explain what's going on, now we actually change, we get clarity on this call, right? We actually get to the root of the problem now. The lead is not really rubbish. He's just really bad at qualified lead. The problem is he wastes a lot of time going to people's house and do presentation, and then they end up not doing business with him. And then he called the lead is bad, but he should have called people and qualify them first before even go to their house. That's what I picked up. So I'm just trying to get him to see that. If I do get him to see that, then he probably change his belief about online leads.
There's a lot of work that goes into this. And then you get out there and, you sort of like, these people aren't going to sell, in the next 6 months. So, yeah.
So what's your qualified process is like? Like, do you even like talk to them or call them first before you spend 3 hours doing listing presentation? What's your qualified process like?
It depends on the lead gen, how it comes in.
Whoa.
So sometimes they come in, they say, this person's booked in this appointment at this time, they're motivated, they want to sell in the next 4 weeks. So immediately just give them a quick call, have a chat, and then we usually keep it short and sharp. We don't ask too many questions on the phone, because if you ask too many questions, they cancel.
You call them up just to see if they're legit and then just go to their house without asking too many questions. Is that what I'm hearing? But then that result in you wasting 3 hours of your time to people who don't really want to sell.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you catch this, but can you see that the problem is not the lead, but your qualification process?
Sure.
This is something that we can fix, but from what I hear, can you agree or disagree that this is not a lead problem?
I agree.
All right, cool. Look, well, at least we established.
So pretty much, he gave me a very short answer, which is probably have that light bulb moment on his head right now on the other side of the phone. And even though if I can't see him, I can feel him. We walk him through all of this question now, and it's the first time we actually spoke. Damn, it's not always been the lead. I'm just sucked at qualified people because I'm afraid to ask them questions. So I'm asking, can you see that this is not a lead problem? And wait for him to say yes. And do you agree or disagree? So I'm asking a double confirmation question. Just want to make sure that he actually clear on that end. It's actually a light bulb moment for him right now on the other side. I'm not sure if you guys can feel that. It's really show and reveal in his tone and his voice as well.
One more thing I want to touch base on is like you have a system in place to nurture people. Like obviously the whole thing of getting lead generate lead in your local area is we get a scoop of the market and we pass it on to you. Me and you, we don't control the market. We just test the market and the market gives us what we want. What we can do is respond to the market. So if we give you a bag full of lead, it's going to be a mixed bag. Some want to sell 6 months, some want to sell 2 years, some want to sell 12 months. You have a system in place to nurture those leads. If someone want to sell 12 months from now, you can't really push them on. But if you have an email campaign, anything that keep this lead in place in your calendar, so when the time comes, they actually come back to you, not the agent who they meet on that day. Then all your work, would have been gone, right? So you have that sort of system in place.
Yep.
What do you use?
Eagle software. Yeah.
Okay, your software. Past experience, you get those leads, they're all like rubbish. So, the one that you mentioned, you put them in that software, right? Have you follow up with them like currently right now? Have you converted any?
If you have made it, congratulations. You have watched the entire recording and it was not short at all, right? That actually shows how committed you are. So this is my free gift to you. This is going to be our exact script that we actually use to actually enroll our client right now. And it's actually more refined than the one that you see in the call because we've been refining it since then. Right? And this document, I'm gonna make sure to leave it in the comment below underneath this video. And it's gonna be outlined anything from objection handling, pitch offer, the process, the scripts, the framework, and even what to do before the sales call. Right? Reminder here, if you are an agency owner, we're offering a free script audit for you to see how we can help change or actually work together in terms of refine your sales process. And if you're an remote sales advisor who looking to partner up or work with a top performing agency who actually get results for real estate agent in Australia, there's a link to also apply to actually work with them.
How long ago was that campaign?
Ongoing.
Oh, so you still doing lead gen with a company right now, currently?
Yeah.
So you get the lead, you put them in your pipeline, and then you send them email. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
What's your conversion rate like with them?
10%.
10%?
Yep.
And what's the appraisal to listing rate?
The appraisal to listing rate, that's about 10%.
Relative quite low, right? If we give like an exclusive pre-qualified lead to you just by yourself, not sharing with anyone else, and we ask them a couple of questions like how soon you want to sell, what you think of the property or the value of your property, and if you're working with any agent right now, we ask him that sort of question and pass it on to you. What do you think the conversion rate going to be?
70%.
Okay.
So that is future pacing, right? So right now, obviously his number is not great. So if someone said, what's your weight right now? It's like 90 kilos. So you said, if I put you to this program and work with you every day of the week, give you a healthy meal plan, how much weight do you think you're going to lose? Just by telling them something that we can help them without even offering anything yet. And we take them to that future already, asking them, if we give you this, what would that do for you? So by answering that, they actually paint a picture in their brain. And it's very powerful question that you should take note of, future pacing.
I think we can help you, Brett. What I can do right now is tell you very, very briefly of our system over the phone. But really the next step here is to schedule a Zoom chat so I can actually show you visually how it comes together. How it works, why it works. Is it something that you like to do?
Yep.
I'll be very upfront though, we don't do a commission structure. We set up the system for you and we're going to teach you, work with you to actually use that system for your business. That makes sense?
Yep.
Right, so how the system works is we're going to build you a machine.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed that, because in the beginning of the call, he was leaning toward the commission thing. He want a company that can do his commission. Now that I actually realized 20 minutes in the call, I qualify him and I sort of make him realize and change his belief, make him realize the difference between where he's missing and get him clarity. I'm positioning myself as a trusted advisor now, right? So I can put my foot down saying, hey, we don't really do what you're after. We don't really do the payment like commission ways or something like that. Is this something that you still want to move forward with? And he said, yep, this is what you actually get to do when you help people gain clarity. Understand what the root cause of the business is, right? When they think something is a root cause, they just go on and have that day. But you asking them specific questions that lead them to realize the root cause of the problem, which they never thought about before. It's not that they don't know, they know, but they never thought of it before. And now they have so much clarity, they're gonna trust you a lot more. And you can really put your foot down and be very, very firm with them.
People in your local area and we qualify them and ask them to book an appointment with you. Then we pass everything on to you in real time. And obviously there's gonna be a bit of mixed bag, just like I said, because what we do is that we don't control the market and we're going to separate the people, right? The 6 month go to nurturing, the 12 month go to nurturing, and anywhere between the 3 month mark, that's where we want you to focus on. Make sense? So we're targeting people with a proven campaign and we ask them pre-qualification question. And by answering that pre-qualification question, they qualify themselves, right? We ask them, how soon you want to sell? Are you currently working with any agents? What do you think of the value of your property? Stuff like that. But it's going to be more questions than that. Just an example. Make sense?
Yep.
You think that will work for your business?
Definitely.
All right, cool.
So if you haven't noticed that, the way I explained about the system is actually tailored to what he's mentioned. The lead is bad, all that stuff. So I'm explaining the system in a way that actually solves his problem because he wants someone who qualify. And I explain everything very, very high level. And I always use, does it make sense? If you haven't noticed, I use that probably like 4 times during that when I explained it. It's just to make sure that he's hearing me on the other end, that he confirmed that I can move forward.
Good chat for our demo call.
Now?
I'm actually having another meeting right now, quite back to back. Can we do Wednesday, Brett?
Alright, so one of the reasons I really don't want to do that MO call like right now after that, because first of all, it's in the afternoon, it's nearly closing business hour, and it's not the best practice to schedule a demo call right after the intro call, right after the call 1, because we want to send result, we want to send testimonial, we want to send email to them so they can have a look at before they come to that call. We want to warm them up, because this is going to be a 2-call close. We want to keep it at a 2-call close, and we're going to be nurturing them in between. If that was a 1-call close, which I'm not intended to do, I would have agreed to that.
Sure.
Allow 45 minutes to an hour, okay?
Yep.
What I do in the meantime, mate, I'm going to send you some email, bit of case study and all that stuff. Also make you a short video about, the whole system and stuff. If you have any questions for me, make sure you write down a piece of paper. So next call will be more prepared and structured, okay?
Yep.
All I actually need from you is just, in that time, you have to be in front of a computer because it's going to be a Zoom call and all of the decision makers should be there. Is there anyone else beside you?
No.
And have you been receiving my email before this call?
Yep.
So it's the same email, right?
Yep.
Any more questions for me?
What time on Wednesday?
Right. We haven't established that yet.
Oh, wow. That's actually my bad on my part, but I'm leading the call to a point where the prospect is asking the appointment from me. So that's where you want to be, right? This is why I'm using this call as an example. We start the call off with a guy who has a very bad belief and a bad stigma throughout lead gen and all that stuff. And we finish the call with a completely different prospect, someone who willing to let us lead. All he do is just answering the question. At the end of the call, what I do is I set the agenda for the next call. The mood, the tone of the conversation do change from the beginning of the call to the end of the call. This is why I actually picked this call. Just so you know, at the end of the call, the prospect end up asking me for the appointment instead.
What best for your morning or afternoon?
Probably maybe 11 a.m.
Yep, I can do that. Let's lock that in, okay? So that would be 11:30 my time, 11 a.m. yours, right?
Yep.
Yep, look out for my email, mate. Brett, since we're friends on Facebook, can I send you a quick video that I made about what we do over to Facebook? So you get some on email and you get some on Facebook as well. Is that possible?
So just so you know, that's another permission asking. I know like it's so easy to send people stuff to the email, to the inbox, but when we ask permission, it's very, very powerful. When you ask them, number one, they have expectation for you. And number two, they give you the permission. So when you ask, hey, can I send you this information through Facebook? Now they expect you to send it to them on Facebook. They actually expect it from you. And number two, they actually give you permission. They also feel like you actually care about what they're feeling, what their thought is, to actually ask them that, okay?
Yep, that sounds good.
All right. Cheers, mate. Have a good one. See you then. Bye.
All right, so that's the end of the call. The whole point of this call one or intro call is to actually qualify people, discover their pain points, see if we can help them and gain clarity on their business. Move them to the next stage of the pipeline, gain clarity, discover root pain point, root problem, and build trust, build rapport, get to know each other, build that relationship. There is no shortcut when it comes to high ticket sell, right? Hopefully you enjoyed this lesson and this training. If you have any questions, just let me know. Hey guys, if you enjoy watching the video, make sure that you are also checking out this content right there.